Hello students, welcome to the GIT Stash tutorials. So today we are going to discuss about the concept of GIT Stash. What is GIT Stash? So these are the topics we are going to discuss. What is GIT Stash? Why we should use GIT Stash? And difference between GIT Stash versus GIT Commit. And then finally important GIT Stash commands. So we'll go here. Have created newly created directory git underscore stash underscore demo one. So we'll get inside that folder, right click, show more options and select with open with code. So I'll click on terminal, select terminal, click on new terminal. So in order to perform stash, you should have at least one commit. You should have performed at least one commit. So I'll create a sample file by name a.txt. I'll type some message. This is so I've initialized the local repository. So next step is I'll create. I'll so basically here U means the file is untracked. File has not been added to the staging area. So I'll bring this file to the staging area. So in order to check the status of staging area, we can make use. Clearly, you can see green color. A dot text appears in green color. This means that file has been added to the staging area. I think some mistake I have done. There should be double M here. So the file ea.txt has been committed. That means that it has been saved to local repo. So there are two ways of saving the files. First is commit. Second method is stashing. So I'll create a second file here b.txt. I'll enter some message here. This is now. Thus, I have done the two commits. First commit, I have set the a.txt. In second commit, I have set the b.txt. So I'll briefly cover what is stashing. So Git stash temporarily saves the changes made to your local working copy so that you can work on something else, then come back again and reapply them later. So stashing is handy if you need to quickly switch context and work on something else, but you're midway through code change and aren't quite ready to commit. Stashing meaning store something safely in a hidden place, temporarily saves your data and saved without committing. So generally there are two ways to save changes to the Git repo local. One is commit. You have to commit, which I have done. Mm. And then second method is stash. So Git stash is used to preserve changes without committing them. So imagine that you're in middle of code changes. Suddenly you need to switch to the branch in order to fix the bug urgently. So in that case, you're not ready to commit. So you're not ready to commit. That's where Git stash comes in handy. So we will create one more file here. C.txt. C.txt. I'll type some sample message here. This is so clearly you can see from U symbol to it has been changed to the A symbol in C.txt. From C.txt, the symbol from U, which means untracked file, has been changed to the A symbol. A means it has been added to the staging area. It becomes C becomes now tracked file, whereas D becomes untracked file. So as I told earlier, stashes by default stash does not apply to the untracked file, does not save. In other words, it does not save the untracked file. In this case, untracked file is d.txt. So in order to apply, clearly you can see c dot text was removed and it was placed in somewhere else. It contains c dot text is copied and stored in somewhere else. So d dot text stashing does not apply to the d dot text since it's a untracked file. So in order to see the list of stashes, you can make use of. So if you want to apply stash, you can make use of command. If clearly see c dot text has been brought back. It has been temporarily saved somewhere else, and by applying git stash apply, it brought back the changes what I have done. Now I will create another two files e dot text. So I'll type some. So clearly you can see there are two tracked files, that is c.text and e.text. Both are tracked files, that is they are added to the staging area. That is you can clearly see here e.text and c.text appears a color, that is it is added to the staging area, whereas d dot and f dot text both are untracked files, means they are not added to the staging area. Suppose in scenario where you want to apply stashing to the both track files and track files, then you have to use this command git. Clearly you can see these files c d e f got disappeared. It is stored in somewhere else. So now you can make use of. So clearly you can see the latest commit, latest stash appears on the topmost. So second stash, that is the latest stash I created, second stash. So minus m minus u stashes both tracked and untracked files appears at the top, and uh, lastly created oldest stash appears at the bottommost. This is the first stash. So if you want to list, you are already listed the list of stashes. So you want to apply the stash. So clearly you can see c dot c dot text d dot text f dot text and e dot text again appeared. So I'll create a three more files here. G dot text. I'll type some message here. This is a. So clearly you can see. So g dot text is been added to the staging area. It becomes tracked file. Now we can apply. I think there is a spelling mistake. Ignore NORE. So clearly you can see. So in order to stash untracked files, tracked files as well as uh, ignored files, you have to use a flag hyphen a. So this is the third step. So in order to see the list of, so most recent applied stash appears at the topmost, and oldest stash will appear at the bottommost. Clearly you can see 0, 1, 2. So most recently stashed appears at the topmost, and more oldest stash appears at the bottommost. So in order to apply stash, you can make use of git stash. So all the files will appear. So I'll create one more file j dot text file. Click here. I'll type something. Clearly you can see here symbol from U changed to A. That is, it has been added to the staging area. So we'll create last stash. This is our last. So clearly you can see those files which are tracked are removed and placed in some place, in some different place. So if you want to bring back those changes, you can apply. So firstly, we'll press enter. So we created 4 stashes. So if you want to apply the latest stash, you can make use of. So clearly you can see changes have been restored. Suppose if you want, suppose if you want to drop any of the stash, if you want to drop any one of the stash, you can make use of command. So clearly you can see the message it has given dropped. So we'll check with the stash. Clearly you can see. So second stash has been removed. We'll add one more file, or will you make use of git stash pop. No, we'll add one more file here. We'll add one more file, k k k dot text. This is k dot text. So I'll type some message. This, so I made a spelling mistake here. It should be dot. So clearly you can see it has been added to the staging area. So in order to stash the file, so now so clearly you can see stashing is applied. Only I have not used any option here, flag here minus u or minus a. This means that it stashes only the tracked files. Those tracked files which are tracked will be removed and stored somewhere else. When you apply the stash, it will be it will fetched and it will be brought here. It will be applied here. So in order to, so you'll come to git stash pop. So clearly you can see, you can check it. So it has been dropped. Suppose you want to apply the latest stash and at the same time remove the stash from the list. You can make use of git stash. So clearly you can see the latest stash has been applied, and after that applying that, the latest stash is removed. We'll check whether the latest stash is removed from the stash list or. So clearly you can see. So stash latest stash has been removed. Latest stash has been removed. So if you want to remove more than one or more stash, you can make use of git. So we'll check whether stash has been deleted or not. So clearly you can see all the stashes has been deleted by using git stash clear. So I hope you understand the important git stash commands. So why we should use git stash? So first point is switching branches. If you need to quickly switch to another branch for bug fix or different feature, but your current work is not ready to be committed, but you are not interested in committing, then you can make use of stash. So handling emergency. The second point. When an urgent issue arises, you can stash your current work quickly to address the emergency without losing your progress. So third point is cleaning your working directory. Stashing allows you to get clean working directory without committing the unfinished changes. So you can clearly see summary of this. So if you want to stash only track files, you should make use of git stash followed by the save minus m message custom message. So if you want to stash both tracked and untracked files, you have to make use of git stash save followed by the minus u option followed by minus m followed by the custom message. So minus u stashes both tracked and untracked files. So git stash save minus a followed by the custom message. It tracks it stashes both tracked untracked files and ignored files. So ignored files are usually entered in .git ignore. These files will be ignored while you're pushing from files from local repo to the remote repo. So guys, basic difference between the Git stash versus commit is there are two alternative ways to save changes to the Git. One is stash and another is committing. Commit is part of public Git history. So commit is a part of public Git history, whereas stash is local. So commit creates a new save point. So it creates a commit creates a new save point on a branch, whereas stash reverts to previous save point. So third point is new commit leaves the file in working tree unchanged, whereas stash resets file in working tree to the previous commit point. So new commit leaves the files in working tree commit unchanged, whereas stash resets file in the working tree to the previous commit point. Can go back to previous commit point. So commit is basically is a public record of file changes. A stash is local. So these are the difference between git stash versus git commit. So this is the end of the video. So thank you for listening, guys.